for us. Senator Huff wants to take the bill from committee and bring it to the floor. We refer it to committee, beg your pardon. Is it debatable? And is then just so I can lay out the information, the motion is properly before us. The motion is debatable as to the propriety of the committee, and the committee you are requesting is budget. Senator Corbett?
I'd like to ask the members of the Democratic caucus to vote no on this bill.
Already. Senator Huff, you're asking for an aye vote on the motion. Anything else, members? Then the Secretary will call the roll. Senator Corbett asks for a no vote. Senator Huff for an aye vote.
May I say something real quickly? I don't know if
yes,
I can
without
say something in
objection,
motion.
Senator.
The reason for this, when the bill passed the Senate in March, it was an empty spot bill. Now that it comes back from the Assembly, and you recall I made this motion yesterday, but we hadn't received it yet, so it was noted. But now that it's received, it is fitting that it be heard in budget, because it is a fiscal bill. It's been keyed fiscal, but it hasn't come to the floor. So now that it is keyed fiscal, I think it's appropriate, and I would appeal to my Democrat colleagues to have something with a significance to the state, not only now but in the future, to at least have it heard in Budget Committee.
Senator Leno.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a brief comment. We certainly had this conversation in committee yesterday. Senator LaMalfa raised a similar point, and my response at that time was that my understanding of the rules is that our House rules is that we are required to hold a hearing, which we did yesterday, and from all accounts it was a very informative hearing, very inclusive, comprehensive, went for 3 hours, and that we have the option of passing a bill to the floor, but no requirement. So we had our hearing, it served its purpose, and we're here to vote on the bill today.
Senator Huff, a final comment?
Yeah, well, that's interesting, because on the floor it was said my motion was not appropriate because we hadn't received the bill from the Assembly, and the chair of the budget has just said that they talked about this, but they didn't, unless I missed something, discuss this bill, because we had not received it yet from the Assembly. So this bill, by our rules, needs to be heard in a fiscal committee, not just talking about high-speed rail. We've been talking about high-speed rail for the last 6 years. And just for clarification, this is a 2/3 vote?
Your motion?
Yes.
Motion is a simple majority. Motion is a simple majority. And members, as I said, the propriety of the Budget Committee hearing has been discussed and debated. Senator Corbett asks for no vote, and Senator Huff asks for the aye vote on the motion. Secretary, call the roll.
Alquist, no. Anderson, aye. Berryhill, Blakesley, aye. Calderon, no. Canella, aye. Corbett, no. Correa, no. De Leon, DeSaulnier, no. Dutton, no. Aye. Emerson, Evans, no. Fuller, aye. Gaines, aye. Hancock, no. Harmon, aye. Hernandez, Huff, aye. Kehoe, no. LaMalfa, aye. Leno, no. Ted Lieu, no. Carol Lieu, no. Lowenthal, no. Negrete McLeod, no. Padilla, no. Pavley, no. Price, no. Rubio, no. Runner, Semidian, no. Steinberg, no. Strickland, aye. Vargas, no. Walters, aye. Wolk, no. Wright, no. Wyland, aye. Yee. Yee, no.
Call the absent members.
Berryhill, De Leon, no. Emerson, Hernandez, Runner.
Ayes 12, noes 24, the motion fails. Senator Huff.
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
Certainly.
According to Joint Rule 10.5, which is the rule of the House, this should have automatically gone to Fiscal Committee. And if I understand right, we should be voting to suspend the rules, and that would take a two-thirds vote. Is that not right?
Thanks to the Secretary, I have a full explanation right in front of me.
Oh, good.
In an opinion issued by the Legislative Council on September 1st, 1981, so it's been around a while, responding to a question posed by the Secretary of the Senate whether a motion to refer under Joint Rule 10.5 results in an automatic referral, Council held that, and I quote, "The question of whether a bill is or is not a fiscal bill, that is, whether it should be referred pursuant to Joint Rule 10.5, is always a question to be decided by the House, and the decision in this regard is made by the motion to re-refer when the bill is before the House. The motion is debatable as to the propriety of the re-referral and is subject to vote of the House as with any other motion." Then finally, it said, thus, the Rule 10.5 is not dispositive in itself, but is effective depending on a vote of the House.
Then I have a follow-up question. Are we not considering this as a budget trailer bill? So if the House is determining it not to be a fiscal bill, how can it then be a budget trailer bill, which is fiscal by nature?
Senator Huff, I guess we're going to go one question at a time. Your motion was properly before us. It was defeated by a vote of the House. The Ledge Council opinion, which is now almost 30 years old, says that is effective depending on a vote of the House. So I think that settles the question. If you really would like further in-depth review of the House rules, the Secretary's at your disposal, but I would like to move forward with the hearing.
I would request, I think I have posed a perfectly accurate dilemma that on the one hand the House is saying it's not fiscal, on the other hand they're putting it in a fiscal trailer bill because they're trying to meet a deadline and implement it immediately. I would request that we have Ledge Council give us an up-to-date opinion. If we could get her to the floor as we've done in the past,
Let
that
me
would give
consult with the
clarity.
desk just briefly.
Does 2910, for example, doesn't apply to this?
The Secretary informs me that this, according to Ledge Council opinion, is a budget bill, not a trailer bill. And the rules, as I've stated them, are dispositive in this regard.
Well, Madam President, I don't understand how it could be a budget bill and not be related fiscal, and I don't think anybody in their right mind in this room or anywhere else would believe that it's not fiscal, but that's the way in which you're interpreting it to get around this suspension of rules.
I duly note your objection. Just to be correct, I said it was not a trailer bill. I'm not debating whether or not it's a fiscal bill. But members, and Senator Huff, and to your colleagues, the vote was put before the House, and the motion was defeated. So again, I'd like to move on with the business before us.
Well, Madam President, I have a parliamentary problem because there is a rule of the House. We have just said it's a budget trailer. I mean, it's a budget bill. That's a fiscal bill, and yet it takes two-thirds vote to suspend the rules. I have yet to see a suspension of the rules to allow this. And perhaps it would take Ledge Council to come in and clarify and say whether we're operating by the rules or not.
Bill is on the floor.
The Secretary will bring the Ledge Council over to speak with you.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I think it is important to note the context of where this bill sits currently. It sits on the floor. It's on the floor. Senator Huff made a proper motion to re-refer the bill to the Budget Committee. That motion was defeated. The notion that the House whose floor currently has possession of the bill would have to suspend the rules to, I guess, force the bill to go to Budget Committee and then force it to come right back out is just not in the proper context. The bill's on the floor. The only motion, given that it is on the floor, is to re-refer it to the committee. That motion was made. That motion was defeated. I'd ask that we get on with the business of the House.
Members, we'll move to item 77. Senator Leno is going to open, followed by Senator Steinberg. The Secretary will read.
Senate Bill.
Well, let's read the bill, and then I will read the bill.
Senate Bill 1029 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review and Act relating to the state budget and making appropriation therefore to take effect immediately. Budget bill.
Senator LaMalfa, for what purpose?
Madam President, I would like to make a motion to withdraw Senate Bill 985 from the Senate Transportation Committee to the Senate floor. The reasons I would like to is that this is the measure that would place the high-speed rail
Senator LaMalfa, now there's your motion is out of order because we're already on the bill. Just give me one moment here. Senator LaMalfa, I'd ask you may bring it up after we've completed item 77.
Madam President, I had the paperwork at the desk and had my mic up in time for this, and this is an important measure that we take up before the item and to have the proper order and the proper discussion.
Senator Steinberg, would you be good enough to hold your item momentarily? We'll entertain Senator LaMalfa's motion, dispense with that, and take it from there.
Thank you.
Is everyone in agreement on that? Senator Steinberg?
The Senate is a collegial house. I will agree with your request.
Thank you. Thank you. Then we will just set item 77 aside for a moment. I'll go to Senator LaMalfa. Would you repeat your motion, Senator LaMalfa, and then we'll put it before the House.
Thank you, Madam President and colleagues. Mr. Pro Tem, appreciate your gracious allowing me to do this. Again, I would like to make the motion to withdraw Senate Bill 985 from the Senate Transportation Committee to the Senate floor. This is the measure that would place the high-speed rail bond back on the ballot in front of the voters for their reconsideration 4 years later after the voters saw in the original Prop 1A a measure that would cost $33 billion, and now we've seen much different, much higher prices for it, $98 billion, $68 billion. So I think this is a very important measure that we put back in front of the voters for their consideration to see if this is a priority they have in 2012 as we contemplate so many other difficult budget issues with education, with the prison system, with the other safety net for Californians that are being greatly affected. And so I think bringing 985 to the floor at this moment is very important to give that voters the opportunity, the chance to re-vote again on high-speed rail for this state.
Thank you, Senator LaMalfa. This motion is properly before us. For Senator LaMalfa to move that SB 985 be removed from Trans to the Senate floor. Senator Corbett.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I'd like to ask the members to vote no on this motion.
Senator Corbett asks for a no vote. Senator LaMalfa asks for an aye vote. Secretary will call the roll.
Alquist. No. Anderson. Aye. Berryhill. Blakesley. Aye. Calderon. Canella. Aye. Corbett. No. Correa. No. De Leon. No. DeSaulnier. No. Dutton. Aye. Emerson. Evans. No. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Hancock. No. Harmon. Aye. Hernandez. Huff.
Where's her?
Kehoe.
No.
No. Lamalfa. Aye. Leno. No. Ted Lieu. No. Carol Lieu. No. Lowenthal. No. Negrete McLeod. No. Padilla. No. Pavley. No. Price. No. Rubio. No. Runner. Semidian. No. Steinberg. No. Strickland. Aye. Vargas. No. Walters. Aye. Wolk. No. Wright. No. Wyland. Aye. Yee. Yee, no.
Call the absent members.
Huff, aye. Berryhill. Calderon. No. Emerson. Hernandez. Runner.
Ayes 12, noes 24. The motion is defeated. Now members will return to file item 77,